Welcome back to the Creator Incorporated podcast. Today we got Lily Stewart. Lily Stewart is the co-host of a podcast called Gin and Toxic. It has over 70,000 followers across Instagram and TikTok, and they got a ton of people that listen to her and her co-host chit chat. She's awesome. Geno said during it that this was the best guest ever, best interview ever. So take his word for it. She's got a pretty sweet career path. She was an assistant wardrobe stylist for Rihanna at one point. Have you ever heard of her? And we just got to chit-chatting. It was great. We were riffing back and forth. She gave a lot of really cool insights into what it's like to create a podcast that actually gets people to listen, unlike this one. So take a listen. Check it out. Lily's amazing. Some very, very fun stories about the influencer world and some lore. And Hannah Berner from the Giggly Squad. She interviewed her. She talks about all that and more. Follow the Creator Incorporated on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We post the videos on YouTube, so check it out. But yeah, we'll get on with the show. And now we go. Lily Stewart, welcome to the friggin' show.
I'm happy to be
it's
here.
So good to be
Thanks
here.
for having me.
This is awesome. This is the best day of my life.
Best day of my life.
This is gonna be the best day.
Every time I go out, I say best night ever, guys. This is gonna be the best night of our life.
And
yeah.
What was the best night ever?
It really sets the tone, you know?
What was the best night ever?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I just like sitting in a shitty dive bar with my friends and just drinking beer, really.
I mean,
and I'll
you
be like,
live
that
in-
was the best night of my life. Like,
You live in Greenpoint, right?
yeah.
So what's that one bar?
I go to George and Jack's a lot in Williamsburg, but Twins Lounge.
Twins Lounge.
Yes, and that's
yeah.
the one that you knew. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah,
I've been to one bar in Brooklyn, and it's
Yep,
called Twins
that
Lounge.
checks out. That's the one you go to.
Yeah, so, okay, you're freaking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
You got it.
You guys are awesome.
Tell.
Oh my
Thanks.
God. Yes, I'm a
You
fan.
can give Geno a fist bump,
That's
too.
how I found you guys. I found you through one of your like advertising whiteboard videos, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, they're awesome. You guys are
Appreciate
onto
that.
something. I love it. Yeah.
Appreciate that. You are the co-host of the Gin and Toxic
I am.
podcast, which has 21.7 thousand followers on Instagram.
Oh, yes.
And how many on TikTok? I
I think
actually-
we're at over 50K. Really
50
bigger
or
on TikTok.
bigger
for
on
sure,
TikTok.
due to
Yeah.
my embarrassing viral clips.
Yeah.
Thank God.
So we'll talk about that too, because
Yes.
that's. I mean, you get vulnerable.
Yeah.
You both get
We do.
vulnerable, and you're
We
your
do.
co-host.
Yeah, because my co-host is my best friend too. So I think sometimes when we're recording, I feel like I'm just chatting it up with her, and then it goes, up the next week, and I'm like, oh, perfect, that's online for everyone.
Do you forget that you both are recording at some points?
Yeah, I think sometimes when we're like really like recalling stories and like really like getting into a conversation, like I'll share some details about the story of that later. I'm like, oh, maybe I should have reeled it in, but I just feel like I'm talking to her, and but that's kind of the beauty of the podcast.
I mean,
too.
yeah, that's what people want to hear. They want to hear like a real conversation that you would have with your friend about a guy or something. Has a guy ever
100%.
seen like a clip and he's like, that was me?
Jack, what do you think? It's gotten me in trouble many times. Mostly like guys love it. Like I don't really share anything like overly private, of course, but sometimes they're caught off guard but I've gotten much smarter about that.
But do guys know? I feel like most of them would have to know going into like a date or something or a
Yes.
post date that
Yeah.
you have this big
100%.
podcast.
Yes, and mostly like last year, like after 2 days or something, if it kind of flopped, like the question is always like, "Are you going to talk about me on your podcast?" And honestly, I'm like, "Yeah, but like you didn't really do it; just didn't work out." Like I might just share like an experience I had or like a funny moment from a date, like nothing that they would. Really
Yeah, you're not
be
gonna put
bothered
like
by.
someone on blast like by name
No.
and ruin their life.
No, it's never in real time either. Once in a while it has been, but it's usually never in real time. So it's like months after the fact, and like
Was there ever one that was in real time? Was there ever one where it was like you recorded in between dates 1 and dates 2, and
In
it's like,
January.
everything's amazing?
Yeah, in January actually.
Nice.
But I asked, I feel like I might have told you this. I can't remember when we got coffee,
Mm-hmm.
but I asked, like it was like our third time hanging out, and he made a joke like, "Are you gonna talk about me on the podcast?" And we were kind of like, we only hung out 3 times, and it was kind of like going well, and like there was definitely a vibe there. And I was like, "Oh, I wasn't going to, but like I can like just say like, ooh, I have a crush, guys. Like here's his new nickname, blah blah blah." And he was kind of all about it. And then So I did it. And then after the fact, he was like, actually, I think I hate this. Like, I don't really
This
think
was so
I wanna...
much better in practice.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, period. Like, good luck with life.
Yeah, well, that's not gonna work out. That's freaking awesome, though.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan, of course, and you both have been doing it since 2021.
Yeah, we've been at it for a while now, but we took off like pretty much all of last year, which kind of is a big gap. So
Well, your frontal lobe was developing.
it really needed to develop. So, and then I gathered more lore for season 3. So.
That's huge. I want to hear the origin story too. I want to hear how it started. Because like, what do you do? What were you doing before starting the podcast? Even like, what are you doing now? What's your real...
So I actually went to FIT, the Fashion Institute here, and that's where I met Christina. So when I was at FIT, I was doing advertising, marketing, communications as my major, a lot of like social media stuff, which is kind of what I'm back into now. But at the time, I was like, I'm going to be a famous wardrobe stylist. Like, that's my dream, and that's what I was doing. And then I met Christina in class, and I couldn't figure her out for a while. I was like, why are you always like going to LA and you're missing class? And she was very like mysterious to me. And then I ended up figuring out she was a famous YouTuber, like from way back in the day, and I was like, everything makes sense now. And then we just became, it was amazing. Like I was actually really impressed and like intrigued by her life, and we became really good friends. And she had a podcast already, and then asked me to join her and make it more chaotic. And here we are.
And the rest is so. Were you doing the podcast on the side while achieving your dreams of being a famous wardrobe stylist?
Yes, which flopped hard, but I was always doing the podcast on the side while working a full-time job while also doing styling.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a lot. And like through that, I was still a student for part of it. Like I was doing a lot of things. I've always kind of been one of those people. Like I like to have a few different things going on, like a full-time job plus a passion project. That's kind of how I like to do it. So that's just always what I've known. So adding the podcast and on top of that was like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, it's Geno always says if you want to get something to get done, give it to a busy person.
Yes, 100%.
Is that right? Yeah,
100%.
That's right. Yep. So that's pretty wild. So your wardrobe stylisting.
Yes.
Did you work with anyone famous?
I did. I did it from like 2018 to 2021, and I was kind of just thrown into it. Didn't even know what it was. I think the first set I ever went to was with the stylist Julia, who I still kind of work with to this day and like get her interns here and there. And it was like some random like commercial, like I don't know, like Kohl's or like something kind of random like that. So I started small, and then I was like 17 or 18 at the time, had no idea what I was doing. And then about 3 weeks into that, she texted me and was like, "Are you available tomorrow to help shoot Rihanna on the cover of Vogue Hong Kong?" And I was like, yes, ma'am. I don't even know how to pin a dress, but yes, I will absolutely be there, and I know exactly what I'm doing.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Geno just gasped.
That was my first ever styling job, like big styling job, and it was Rihanna for Vogue.
Rihanna for Vogue?
And I had lived in New York for like 3 months.
Oh my God, you're literally Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah,
you're
I was.
literally Devil Wears Prada.
I was, like with all the bags and like, I'll get you coffee.
Wait, what
like,
was your job with the Rihanna shoot?
So I was like a wardrobe assistant. So like the head wardrobe lady at Vogue Hong Kong was this lady named Anya, who I ended up working for like 2 years after that. So whoever was on the cover that month, I got to style. So there was a lot of amazing people, but Rihanna being the first was a doozy.
So do you get... Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to Rihanna?
Oh, we were chilling. She was smoking blunts on set. I was changing her. And she was like, honestly, one of the nicest celebrities I worked with. Like, she was like, babe, where do you go to school? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, she was so lovely. So after that, like any, like, cause she's as big as it gets. So any celebrities that acted a type of way after her, I was like, oh my God. Like,
you should meet Rihanna.
Yeah. Like she's a class act, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much that means nobody's allowed to be mean to anyone ever, because if Rihanna...
That's what I'm saying.
If Rihanna can do it, what would Rihanna do?
That's
is how I'm going to subscribe to my life for the rest of humanity.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So
yeah, it was really cool.
So you worked with Rihanna, dapped up, got her number.
Yeah, obviously we're besties. We go way back.
Got her number. You know what's funny? I went out with someone who had met Rihanna at a bar.
Ooh.
Like late night at a bar at Lovers of Today. In the East
great
Village.
Spot.
And Rihanna was there at like 4 a.m.
Wow. It's
just
a good spot
chilling.
for celebs. It's so dark in there. It's Taylor Swift bar for a reason. Like
I know.
That
bar on the east side where you at.
Beautiful. I'm like, yes, beautiful.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so that's crazy. So the Rihanna happens, and then from there you're just like...
On that set, I met, I don't know if you're familiar with Law Roach. He's like one of the biggest celebrity stylists. He styles like Zendaya. He styled Ariana Grande at that time, like Celine Dion, everyone. So from there, I met his assistant on that set. And this is where I'm like, you need to be nice to everyone, no matter what room you're in. You never know who you're. I had no idea that was his assistant. And I was like, you want a coffee? Like, just kind of being friendly with her because like no one was talking to her and whatever. And then she like the next day was like, do you want to go to Anne Hathaway's house tomorrow and like do a fitting and blah blah. And then from there, I just was like booked for like 2 years, just like being like a little rat on the side doing whatever they needed, essentially making like no money, but it was great.
You were on, you're right place, right time.
Yes,
right
exactly.
Place, right time.
Yeah.
And then you said, obviously, like COVID kind of
that was
fizzled,
weird times, man.
Yeah. You weren't able to like look at people and.
Yeah. And I was like freelance. So, when COVID hit, I went back to my parents for a few months and I was just like, what is life? Like, what am I doing?
At that point, so it kind of lines up at that point, you meet Christina, your co-host.
Yes. And then she kind of got me more in like the social media world. And then she opened, like we started the podcast and she also had like an influencer agency that I helped her with a little bit. So I got into like a little bit of talent management, just learning more about like that. And that's how I got like my full-time job now. I'm an agent at a model agency and influencer agency.
Influencer agency. So you are like, you're working with the influencers, but you kind of get it. Because you got a shit ton of followers
100%.
and you run the podcast and you've been around.
Yes.
I think just
all my friends are influencers.
The fact that like, I mean, shout out Rihanna. shout out Rihanna.
Rihanna. That really
is Rihanna
got
single?
Me there. Are you actually serious?
Are you kidding me? Is that a joke?
I thought her and
ASAP
Rocky, I thought they broke up.
No.
Who am I thinking of? Travis Scott?
Yes, Travis
and
Scott.
Kylie Jenner.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, she is a Timothy Chalamet.
She really that was a 180.
Yeah,
yeah.
But so Rihanna's not single.
No, unfortunately.
She's a good guest. Yeah, yep. Lily is a good guest.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Everyone, just take a second here to
Best day ever.
admire greatness. Okay.
Amazing side commentary.
So did you say that in the mic? Did you say that in the mic?
Lily's a good guest. I just gotta say that.
Good chick.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Cool. So now you're agent side as well as running the podcast. When you started doing the podcast, was it a major hit right away?
You know what? Kind of. Because at that time, Christina, so like I said earlier, she was like a famous YouTuber back in the day. She kind of doesn't do YouTube as much anymore. She got famous when she was like 10. Like,
that's
absurd.
so wild.
Like she was one of those. So
man, she should come on this show.
Yeah, I told you. Absolutely. She'd love to come on. She just moved to Florence for 3 months. So
whatever.
Yeah, we'll get her when she's back.
Yeah. No.
She's a life coach and an influencer, so that's what she's doing.
I'm sending her that clip.
Yes. She knows. I
Okay.
make fun of her every day. I called her yesterday. I was like, what are you doing right now in Florence? Like, what are you doing?
She's like,
I'm like working away. like whatever. But yeah, I meet her and then she was really big at that time, especially like even more relevant than she doesn't post as much anymore. And she also dated a guy who was in a very big boy band. This is lore. Like they're one of those bands that like they sold out Radio City, like all these huge places. They're called Why Don't We?
Okay.
But I never knew who they were, and like you would never know them.
Know.
But they were huge for like the 15-year-old girls. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes so much sense because
like
she's like
huge,
a child
like
star.
One Direction, not as big nearly, but like really on that wave.
I get it. Yeah. Huge following.
Yeah.
Cult-like following, boy band.
Yes.
Just heartthrobs, I'm sure.
Yes, and like their fans are so intense. And Christina dated one of them for 4 years, and they actually really liked her. Like the fan base really liked her, and she got like so much from that. And then when we started the podcast, they'd broken up that year, and they hadn't even like announced it publicly. Like he has like millions of followers. Like it was kind of like a big, to do. I know. I was like, oh my God,
that's like kind of my dream is to date someone who's like really famous and then be like that guy. It's like, who's
I love that guy.
Who's Rihanna dating now?
Like the mystery man. Yeah, she's kind of mysterious. So when we started the show, it was kind of great timing for us, publicity wise, because like the third episode in, we did like a tell all because he cheated on her. And he's a public figure. So it got like, tens of thousands of listens and downloads and stuff. So that kind of like put us on the Spotify charts and stuff. And then, we weren't consistent with that all throughout, but that gave us a good start.
That got you going. And then from there, what was like the momentum moment? Were there any big milestones achieved along the way to keep? Because to get to 21.7 thousand followers on Instagram, like 50-something thousand followers on TikTok, you kind of have to have some big time moments.
Yeah, I feel like most of those followers are from viral clips, which is really cool. And I think that's amazing. But what I'm always more impressed by, just because podcasts are so long, like I just know personally, if I listen to a podcast, I love it. Like I have to really be in it in order to sit there and listen for an hour. So it's just like amazing to me. Even if 5,000 people listen to an episode, I'm like 5,000 people listen to me talk for an hour and a half about a Hinge date. Are you fucking serious?
It's awesome.
Like, that is so crazy to me. So, but yeah, most of that is from viral clips. And then I think season 1 just really set us up for success because we were wild childs on that season.
That's so
like,
how old were you when you were during season 1?
I think like 20, 21.
That's so awesome.
And now like we're 25.
Wow,
26.
that's really impressive that you both were able to actually do the podcast as like 20, 21-year-olds. Because it's a lot of work. Yeah. And you gotta like stick with it, and you 100%. Have to be consistent about it, and then to be able to speak as a 21-year-old. Yeah.
What we were speaking about was
awesome.
Like, what are our favorite positions right now? Like, why?
Because this was like Alice Cooper prime era of her kind of being
100%
unhinged. So.
And we've kind of followed her trajectory in a way. Mm-hmm. Like we were super raunchy, and then like we grew up and our audience grew up and they wanted different things. And like we still tap into that sometimes, don't get me wrong, but like it's more about like dating and relationships and sex and stuff.
It's for sure like authentic to probably you growing up and your frontal lobe forming 100%. And all that. And the crew, the audience, do you have a name for your audience? For your crew? Like the Ginnies, the
toxics, like
the
no,
toxic,
the
toxinators.
No, oh god, it's awful. It's awful.
Okay,
there are a lot of like college student like girls, which is amazing to me, and a lot of like frat guys and stuff. Which is hilarious.
Like, what's up, girl?
Yeah, they want to know though, like what like our perspective is on like dating and a first date and like stuff like that. So it kind of makes perfect sense.
If you are a smart guy, you would listen.
100%.
You get all the answers to the test.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's like, wait, I should open the door.
Yeah, he's like, fuck, my god. Like,
he's like, I haven't paid for her drink in 10 years.
It's incredible what they don't know. It really is.
it's impressive. So I gotta just ask about it. You had Hannah Berner.
We did. That was season 2. So summer of 22, which I feel like season 1 was just me and Christina, kind of really raunchy, like just going, shooting the shit. And then season 2, we were like, okay, like we have some cool friends. Like let's get them on the show.
For sure.
And we actually met Hannah. I think we were like absolutely obliterated at the stand one night. And she came on and like we were familiar with her, but this was a few years ago. She wasn't nearly as big as she is now. And we were familiar with her, but then she just like killed the set. Like she just killed it. It was like 2 a.m. too, like one of the last people. It was amazing. And we talked to her after and she agreed to come on the show. And I was just like, why are you coming on my show? Like, what's going on?
And then she actually came on.
Yes. And I rewatched part of it today because I knew you were going to bring it up. And like the first 20 minutes, I don't talk. It's brilliant. You can tell I'm just like, why am I here? And I was just like, honestly laughing so hard at everything she said because like I'm a fan. Like she's hilarious.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So I was just like just listening to her talk that I forgot. I was like, I am hosting this show.
I have to actually participate in this. And so you think even though the fact that you had wardrobe styled Rihanna, you've been around all these celebrities, you still were fangirling a little bit.
It's just different. Like it's so different with like a celebrity versus like a TikToker or like a comedian you love. Like you feel like you can have more of like a friendship. It is weird. It's like a parasocial thing for sure, but I don't know. It just was weird. I was like, I feel like I know her, but I don't at all.
For sure. It's like obviously Hannah Berner's huge, but like what you said, the fact that she agreed to come on, it feels a little bit more real. It's certainly more real, and someone like Hannah Berner she comes across as, I don't know the right word, but like attainable. Yeah. And the fact that like she could probably maybe be my friend.
100%. And honestly, after like we got into it a bit, I was like, so like now I wouldn't look at her like that because that's the best thing about her. She's so refreshingly normal and nice, and like as big as she's gotten, she's still just as great. So
yeah. Do you think, have you kept up with her at all?
Yeah, like a little bit. And I feel like if we like, not a favor, but like if you really wanted to have her on the show again, like it might be a little harder to schedule it and stuff, but I feel like she would do it.
Nice.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. That is a freaking big deal.
Yeah, that was cool. I love having guests on. It's really fun.
So nowadays, I mean, any other big guests? Any other ones are
you know what our audience loves is when we have our friends on. It's kind of funny. Like we've had some like big people on. Are you familiar with like the East Villain boys? Like
no.
Cody James, Dylan Blanco.
No.
long. They're like a group of guys in the Lower East Side. Now some of them live in Williamsburg. They're actually so nice, and they're really good friends of mine. But we had Cody James on one time. They're kind of like notorious like on TikTok for like tattoos and like the fashion, like fit checks, like those kind of guys.
I love it.
I love it. I manage some of them, so I'm fully support it, but like I have to make fun of them sometimes, of course.
Yeah.
And we had Cody James on, one of the boys, and when he was on, we like surprised him, and we had like this kind of setup, and it was a pyramid of all the boys, and we ranked them, and like it was so good.
Did you pretend like you forgot to erase it or something? Like it,
I don't even
or
remember
did
what
he
the
walk in?
He was just like, "What is all this paper?" And I was like, "We'll get to it. Don't worry about it."
I love it.
Don't
I
worry
love
about
it.
He was at the top, of course. We love Cody's like our really good friend, and
I love
then
that.
we ranked them by like, you know, hotness, how nice they are. Like, but one of them's like dated my friend, so I was like, "You're at the bottom." Like, yeah. So that was really funny. And I think like niche, like New York City TikTok people like loved that. And then Benton McClintock. I don't know if you're familiar with
Well,
him.
that sounds. Yeah, I think
You
I know who
him.
that
He's
is.
like the why the fuck are you waiting in line at Jack's Wife Frida guy?
Oh,
like,
nice.
He's really funny. So that was brilliant.
Yeah,
So.
the New York TikTok influencer thing is taking full form
Ooh, I
right
know.
now.
That's tea, isn't it?
It is tea. Oh my god.
I was in that. Like I was watching
You were
all the
in
videos.
there. I mean,
can't lie.
Algorithm hit hard. For those that don't know, it was literally just one video, right? Like this
Yes,
one.
and you know what's funny? I used to work a retail job with that girl 6 years ago in New York City.
Wow.
She's actually a really nice girl, and I actually agreed with what she said.
So she made this video that was pretty much calling out a lot of these New York City influencers, saying that they're like boring,
Copy and paste,
copy
Revolve,
and paste,
shopping, basic girls.
Do you know? I mean, this isn't really my algorithm, but is she referring to like more of like the female influencers, like the day in my life type?
Yeah,
people?
I think it is those girlies, and like I agree to a point. Like I just don't feel like I'm their target audience. Like I've dressed a little funkier, and like I like some different things and like quirkier kind of content creators. So like I think they're great. Like I really do, and I just don't think I'm their target audience. And I think the other girl that made that video, she's not either. But I will say, like, there is a sense of that copy and paste going on. And also, as someone that's a small creator going to a lot of those events, I can attest that not everyone is friendly. Unfortunately, a lot of people are. Most people are, but not everyone.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's always gonna be people that aren't Rihanna.
No,
and
exactly.
How many times can I bring up
Just
Rihanna?
keep it going. Keep it going.
This is a manifesting exercise, actually. So these events, tell me more. I want to hear more about these events.
Yeah, like, you know, like a Maybelline event, or like, oh my God, I've gotten like Amazon event. Like I'm usually Christina's +1, but I'm there.
Yeah, ever since what's his face from Why Not Me cheated on her.
Yeah, she's gonna eat that up. That wasn't the band name. It's Why Don't We?
Exactly.
Why not we?
Who's he dating now?
Why not? I don't
Some
know.
freaking
I don't
loser.
care. Yeah, some
we don't
loser.
care.
Yeah, but the events are weird sometimes. Like you either go and it's like this certain side of TikTok where like the girl that does Street Hearts, like Tiff Barra, Benton McClintock, like these huge creators that are lovely. There's Hannah Berner, like these huge people that are, they don't have an ego. Like they're nice, normal people that you can talk to at events and whatever. And then there's this other side of the New York City TikTok influencers that I've had dinners with, and they were.
Wait, why do they do
painful.
Why do they do dinner?
Like,
why do they do that? Like a brand
I don't
hosts like a
know.
dinner?
I don't know.
It's really just like trying to, you know.
If I don't have a +1, I'm not going.
Yeah,
like, and I'm very
show
like
them
social,
solo.
but I'm like, this is so.
They're just
awkward.
trying to like butter you up to
Yeah.
make sure that you make content about them,
Yeah.
or is it that kind of the
And
situation?
it works, to be honest. It works.
They send like the PR package.
yes,
and-
some of it's a little excessive. I think some of the trips these days, my God, like
Yeah,
people are dying. Why are we sending people to like the middle of an island? Like, what is going on? Like,
how does that work? Are they like, we're sending Rihanna to Cabo?
yeah, so it's more like not Rihanna, and more like Addison Rae maybe,
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
I don't know, even like some big New York City TikTokers.
Mhm.
But it's crazy to me like how much money they spend on that. And then they like some of their employees are making like, you know, $60K a year. I'm like, what is going on?
That's wild. That is-
yeah.
I can't believe it. And then I want to try and like close the loop on this New York City influencer situation. So what's gonna happen? Are people gonna be like? Do people actually care? Because at the end of the day, these people still have like 5 million followers.
Yeah.
and
And
it's
I
not
think
like
content wise, they don't need to change. I just think like all those influencers should be careful when they're like, it catches up to you. You can't have a sustainable career if you're not kind to people, if you're not, you know, open to meeting small creators, having normal friends. Like not all your friends need to be famous. Like it's catching up to them. And I think that they need to be careful.
Yeah, they're in it. Sometimes people might be in it for the wrong reasons. They're in it because it's like, yeah, I'll just do this day in the life and I'll get 5 bajillion views.
100%.
I'm awesome.
And hang out with famous people and get invited to these things. And like, it's all cool, but like, you know, just to a point.
Yeah,
you gotta
at
have
some point,
real friends.
For sure. And I think your experience is so unique because you got to see, obviously, you know, working with the celebrities and being a stylist, but then also going from, like, you weren't, like, necessarily famous, and then you started getting thrown into, like, these events and kind of into that
in
world.
rooms where I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here?
And being an agent, too. It's like you have the best perspective of all.
Yeah.
Is there something that you see, like, in creators or talent or whatever, that kind of is a green flag to, like, oh, this person gets it, or they're gonna be a good person to work with or manage?
I think a lot of people look at like influencers and content creators like, what a breed. And I of course agree, like being an influencer does not even I have a full-time job, like it does not remotely compare to what that's like, having to report to someone, being a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. But I, like, when I'm signing influencers at my agency, for example, like I look for someone that like works so hard and treats it like, you know, they want to get to the top, because even if they don't, they'll succeed kind of people. Like, I think when people look at it like, I want to be an influencer so I can chill, that's not the right, like, you want to be an influencer so you can like start your own brand eventually, or like do all these things. Like, people look at it with the wrong intentions, I think, sometimes. So yeah, when I'm looking to work with people, I want them to be like hungry for it, you know?
For sure, because getting that following is really just the beginning. That's like that gets you into the game. Yeah. And some people might see it as like the finish line.
Yeah.
And it's totally not.
Everyone says it all the time, but we really don't know what's going to happen with social media. And like, it already is like, like I said when I came in here, like I've been struggling to get some of my big creators, like the deals I was even just a year ago. Like, it's changing already. So you got to think more than just the following.
Let's have a little bit of let's view outside more than 20 feet, Geno.
Let's go,
please, for once in your life. Is there anything you wanted to add? Anything, Geno?
No, you guys are crushing it. I just think Lily is a great guest, and she, from having her own show, being a talent manager and working at that agency is phenomenal, guys. Good job, both of you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So I have a question. Do guys ever reach out to you because they see the podcast content?
Yeah, it's not my main selling point. It's definitely not my main selling point. But you know what I kind of like I am like, what you see is what you get. Like, if you want to go ahead and stalk me on Instagram, you're gonna like see how I am when I'm like crazy with my friends and like blah blah blah. And like, I'm usually like pretty chill and relaxed, but like I like that people can see that side of me before, you know. And just like, if you think I'm fucking annoying, then like you're not gonna ask me out. Like,
yeah, you're out there.
Yeah,
you are out there.
Yeah,
in public. What do people say? I'm outside.
I'm on the streets.
These streets are here to stay. That's pretty wild. It's interesting. I have about 750 followers on TikTok.
Killing it.
Totally crushing it.
I actually would think, because your content's great and it gets a lot of views, so you're getting there. I know it.
Can you imagine you see me at one of these freaking events? Me at Maybelline.
You're gonna get invited. You're next. I'm telling you. By September Fashion Week, you'll be at all of them.
Oh,
you'll do it once though, and you'll be like, I'm never doing that.
It
actually is awful. But yeah.
Do you guys ever get like hater comments on the podcast?
Are you joking? Two women talking about sex and dating? Never. No, it's always men 50 plus with no profile picture being like, do they have fathers, or like, not everyone needs a mic, like, the freaking podcast comments that everyone gets to, like, not another this with a microphone. It's like,
it's exhausting.
It is so stupid.
Was that hard to deal with at first? I'm sure
I actually really am not bothered by like online hate. Like, I think I'm only bothered if it's someone I know, like, shitting on me or something. But random people, oh my god, I really not bothered.
Especially, seeing like user 787444578, like
precisely,
it might as well be like a robot.
Yes.
It might as well be someone that actually isn't a real person.
Yeah, I think when it was about my parents when I was a little younger, like certain things, I was like, ooh, ouch.
Oh, that'd be so brutal.
Yeah, or like very specific like personality things, but
that you think are great about yourself.
Yeah, or like. I just don't like when like people used to be like, you guys are just really annoying. Like, that was the one we got a lot. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of the whole point, I thought.
But
like,
I would be like, you have the validation of a lot of people tuning in.
Yeah.
I think that is huge. You
100%.
have to focusing on that
Yeah.
Not to give you advice.
No, seriously though. Like, why would I pay attention to that comment when I have like all these like 19-year-old girls DMing me like every day being like, I got through a breakup through listening to this episode. Like really specific messages I get every day that like, that's genuinely like why we will always do the show.
Oh, that's badass.
It really is. It's sweet.
Oh man, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So what's next for the podcast? Are you guys going to keep it rolling forever?
We are. We actually always joke that we're going to be like in a retirement home one day.
Blood
like,
oath.
What's your toxic thing of the week? So Christina just left like a week ago for 3 months. So that's kind of sad. She's my best friend. So I'm kind of like, what do now? Like, what the fuck?
That's brutal.
So we had to end the season also way earlier than expected. Kind of long story. We were supposed to do like 30 episodes. It ended up only being a little less than 20. So a little bummed about that, but it's going to come back by like the end of summer.
Okay.
And we have some exciting new moves for our studio that we're going to be making. So yeah.
You're coming
to
our studio.
We're coming in.
Hey, you're welcome whenever you want.
Hell yeah.
This is your
It's a
spot.
great setup in here.
Yeah, what do you think? Pretty cool, huh?
It's pretty great, guys.
I sit over there. Geno sits right there.
Sweet.
That is the door over there.
It's
What's your studio
great.
set up now?
So we are in Chinatown. Noah Berghammer is a New York little figure. I feel like at this point he has an agency of his own, and then he owns this little studio in Chinatown that he rents out to me and Christina, a little podcast corner, and then some photographers, a tattoo artist, one of the East Villain boys. Like
Yeah, it's like a creative. What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
An artist loft?
yeah,
Was that a thing back in the
that's
day?
what we can call it.
Yeah.
It looks more like a storage unit. That needs to be cleaned desperately, and it smells like men, but it's great.
Axe body spray.
Yeah, it's
Everyone's
awesome in
Phoenix.
there.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And then is it you two are the only ones that are doing like podcast stuff in there?
Yeah, which is nice. We have like our own little, like a corner like this size, little neon sign. It's a chalkboard actually, which is really cool. You
that's
guys
nice.
should check that. It's like a paint you can do, and then you can just write on the walls.
Oh, it's a paint and then
yeah,
you
you
can
can do
walls.
like a stick and peel wallpaper too. Since you guys don't like, it might be hard to paint, but they might let you repaint it. I don't know.
Who cares?
Ah,
I don't give
whatever.
a
Yeah.
I don't give a
Tell them, Jack.
I don't give a
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Keep going.
You know, I don't give a wow. Skid scat bit it bap. Geno, give me a
I don't give a fuck. Ow.
Lily, say it.
I don't give a fuck. Really does
Hey,
it.
hey.
Oh my god. Hey, you guys got to get the chalkboard though.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
great.
get the chalkboard.
I have
for
a
real.
flow chart of men's names, but their nicknames, obviously.
Good.
Yeah, like a full flow chart.
Do you ever feel like in your real life you need to create some lore to talk about on the podcast for content? Are you ever like I gotta go on this date because it'll be
Yeah.
great content?
Yes, because I've been single for like a year and a few months now, and just like not really date. God, it's exhausting. Like it's altogether too much. So like in December, I like haven't been on a date in months, and I was like, I literally have no stories left for the podcast.
Yeah, you're like season 3 is coming up.
Yeah,
we gotta get
like
going.
I have to. So I think I went on like 2 Hinge dates, or like I think I just like started saying yes to things. Like a guy that like kept asking me, I was like, fine, I'll go with you, like whatever. And like it just gives me some story. Even if like nothing happens, I can be like, oh, I learned this about myself, or like I don't like this when guys do that, So it always leads to some conversation.
Yeah, I mean the New York dating scene has been talked about ad nauseum, so we don't have to get into it too much. But but it's great. It's a great experience if you go into it with the right intention. You have the best excuse of all time for yourself. You can be like, A, this will be I get to meet someone new, and B, potential podcast content.
100%.
So even when someone does something egregious, you can be like, the bright side is that
every single time it's like I'm doing it for the group chat and I'm doing it for the podcast.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So do you think there's ever going to be a world where like you're doing podcast or like the content stuff full time, or do you think you'll stick?
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd ever want to podcast full time because like I said earlier, like I am just one of those people. I kind of like to have a few things going on.
Okay.
But I would like to fully work for myself eventually, like everyone would. But
yeah, it feels like you're on the up and up.
Yeah.
It feels like you're on the up and up, Lily. I
Yeah.
can see it. You guys are gonna be the next Giggly Squad.
Hell yeah.
I can already sense it.
Oh,
the
it's
clips are great.
awesome.
Obviously, I've watched every single clip, and they're great. And I'm locked in. So you got another Toxinator.
Hell yeah.
And another Toxinator. Geno will be
Yes,
tuning in now.
Geno.
So you got fans here. Anything else before we close it out, Geno?
Great job. I just want to say Lily's a great guest again. Really good.
God, I'm gonna be floating this evening.
I don't give
I'm
up.
feeling great.
What are you doing this weekend? Anything fun?
It's so weird that like Christina's gone now. Like it's really throwing me off because like
seriously need.
We got parties.
Yeah, we can
parties.
invite you. We're gonna be in Brooklyn. We'll be in
Guys.
Brooklyn. We'll be in Brooklyn.
Oh, don't even tell me that. All I got right now is a Saturday brunch, so I'm a free girl.
Oh.
What are you doing in Brooklyn?
We're going to a party. We got invited to a birthday party.
Oh,
Birthday party
okay.
bash.
Birthday bash.
Well,
birthday
let's
bash.
go out after
For
birthday
show.
party. Yeah.
For show.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to the birthday party?
I'll go
You
to a
don't wanna
random
go to the
birthday
birthday
party.
party?
There's nothing I love more in this life than randoms. Like when someone's like, I'm bringing like a few random people to the I'm like, yes, and
Oh,
tell
yeah.
them to bring their friends.
Well, because my thing, you might resonate with this. I get to use my best material on them.
Exactly. My stories
Yeah.
hit like the first time. And then also like it's a chaotic energy. And like even if they suck, that's brilliant. That's a story.
It's
you
a
know?
story. That's a story right there. I
Yeah.
was at a lake house recently. Lake house with random people is the best. Because then you get, like you
That's
said.
my dream.
I got my 3 stories. I got my 3 stories that I'm so good at telling.
So
and
good.
And then it's like I'm the star.
Wait, I need to hear these three stories.
Oh, I don't
sometimes.
want to get into it.
I should've,
Oh,
I should've.
stop. Oh, stop. No, I got 3 stories. The title of each one is robbed at gunpoint. The other one, and then the other 2 are high school.
Okay.
High school stuff.
Got it.
High school stuff. I don't give up.
That will be discussed after like 4 beers.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That'll be part 2.
I love like a 3 beer deep like story time.
Well, because you're
There's-
floating.
There's nothing
Because
better.
I mean, I could do anything.
Yeah,
And
I'm
could-
like performing at that point.
At that-
I'm
at that
kind of
point-
making things up in the story.
You're
Like,
standing and they're also you're actually above them, like
Yeah,
on stage.
yes.
You're like Hannah Burner at the stand.
yes, exactly.
Nailed that call back.
Yeah,
Well, Lily, thanks so much.
of course.
This was a blast.
This was so fun. I've actually never been on someone else's podcast before.
And
Isn't that
that
crazy?
is Lily Stewart's
Yeah.
podcast debut
I know. Can you believe
for
it?
not her podcast. Was it weird being on that side?
It was a little strange, but
Yeah, you gotta
it was
answer
that was
questions.
such an easy, like natural flowing conversation. So it was great.
Let's get that in writing.
Yeah.
Let's get her to sign that, Geno, before she leaves. A little note.
Let's write that down.
Write that. We'll have a DocuSign available soon. But yeah, thanks so much. And if anyone wants to check you out on the internet, where are they going?
Yes, Lily Stewart with 2 Y's on Instagram and Lily Stewart with 4 T's on TikTok.
And then, of course, the Gin and Toxic
Yes, if you
podcast.
just look up Gin and Toxic, should come right up.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.